lab 2, problem 3. So the third problem in the second lab is, so we are given a network address, so 192.168.1.0. So this is the IP address given to us, that means the network ID given to us. So number of subnets. So how many subnets needed means, so we need 14 subnets we need. Okay. So they are asking to make this as 14 subnets. Okay. Now, so what is the class means of the given network ID? So class is C. Okay, 192. So it is class C IP address. Then subnet mask, that means default subnet mask. So the default subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. So that is the default subnet mask. CIDR value. So CIDR value, it is going to be /24. Okay, because the 3 octets will be available in the network. 8 plus 8 plus 8. So there are 3 octets in the network part. So I am writing CIDR value is /24. Okay. Now, so the first step is number of bits to be borrowed. Bits to be borrowed. So how many bits we have to borrow? So this we have to decide. So based on the subnets needed. So 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 5. So 2 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So if you are borrowing 0 bits, only one subnet. So 2 to the power of 1 equal to 2, 4, 8, 16. So if you borrow 4 bits, okay, you can have 16 subnets. So exactly you cannot have 14, you can have 16. So we have to borrow 4 bits we have to borrow. Okay, so this is what we are understanding from this. Okay, now we are going for the custom. Okay, custom CIDR. Okay, I'm going for the custom CIDR. So custom CIDR, you can see already there were 24 bits available. Okay, we borrowed, okay, we are going to borrow, 4 bits we are going to borrow. So 4 bits we are going to borrow. So the new CIDR, okay, the custom CIDR equal to /28. Okay, /28. Now, so what is the new subnet mask or the custom subnet mask? Okay, so the custom subnet mask is, so first octet 255, no change. The second octet, it is going to be 255. The third octet is also going to be, okay, so 255. Now from the last octet we are going to borrow, okay, 4 bits we are going to borrow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 bits we are going to borrow. Okay, so this is going to be 1. So what is the place value? This is going to be 128 and this is going to be 64 and this is 32. Okay, and here it is going to be 16. Okay, 16. Now we have to add all these values, so you will get the subnet mask. Okay, so this is equal to 255.255.255. So don't add all these things, okay, because this will be very the big numbers for you. You can go for a shortcut. So what is that? So 255. Okay, I'm going to reduce the remaining 4 values. You can reduce. So what is the remaining 4 values means 1 plus 2, 1, 2, 4, 8. Okay, so I'll just add all this 4. The remaining 4 I'm going to add. So 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 4, okay, 14, 14 plus 1, 15. So 15 I'm going to reduce from this. So if I reduce 15, okay, 240. So 240 is going to be your, this is going to be your subnet mask, the new subnet mask. So if you add everything, you will get same 240, 128, 64, 32, 16. If you add all these values, you are going to get 240. So I am just doing it in a very simple way. Okay. So this is our subnet. Okay. So 16 subnets we can have here. Okay. So 4 bits we borrowed. 4 bits we borrowed. So 0 0 0 0, this is the first subnet, that means subnet ID 1, 0 0 0 1. Okay, so 0 0 1 0, 0 0 1 1, so it is keep on going like this. So the last value will be 1 1 1 1. Okay, so this is first subnet ID, and this is going to be the last subnet ID. Okay, so this is, now I'm not going to calculate all the subnets, I'm going to randomly choose. Okay, for example, subnet 5 I'm going to calculate, then subnet, okay, the last one, okay, 16th subnet I'm going to find. So only two subnets I'm going to calculate here. I'm going to find the subnet ID, first host ID, last host ID, and broadcast IP address. I'm going to find only for these two subnets we are going to find. So now this is subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3, subnet 4, subnet 5. So now for the fifth subnet I'm going to find, then for the 16th subnet I'm going to find. So these are the two things I'm going to find it. Now subnet 5, I'm going for subnet 5. Okay, so the IP address given here 192.168.1 dot. So there is no change in the first three octets, only in the last octet there will be a change. So 1 2 3 4, 4 bits we borrowed, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, remaining 4 bits is available. Okay, now so subnet ID we already, okay, we decided the fifth subnet. So 0 1 0 0, so this is going to be your subnet ID. So this is subnet ID, the whole thing, it is going to be your network ID, and this is going to be your host, okay, the host part. Okay, so subnet ID, so 192.168.1 dot. So you have to make the host part, it should be entirely 0. Okay, that is a rule for finding the subnet ID. Okay, so in that case we have 1 here. So what is the place value means, this is going to be 64 is the place value. 1 2 4 8 16 32, 64 is the place value. So 1.64, so this is going to be your subnet ID. Now slash, okay, so custom CIDR is 24, so 24 is going to be the CIDR value. Now first host ID. So how to calculate the first host ID? You have to make the last bit 1. So if you make last bit 1, that is going to be your first host ID. So 192.168.1 dot. Already we have 64 here. Okay, so I'm going to make the last bit as 1. So if I make this 1, 64 plus 1, so that is going to be 64 plus 1. So this is 192.168.1.65. Okay, slash 24. So this is going to be your first host ID. Now last host ID. Okay, so what is the last host ID? How to find the last host ID means, so you have to make everything 1 except the last bit 0 in the host part. So in that case 192.168.1 dot. So already we have 64 here, 64 plus, so we are going to make all these 3 bits, okay, 1 except the last bit. In the host, make everything 1 except the last bit. So this is going to be 1 2 4 8. So I'm directly writing the place values. So 8 plus 4 plus 2. Okay, so you make everything 1 except the last bit. So 8 plus 4 plus 2. So this is equal to 192.168.1 dot. So 8 plus 2, 10, 14. So 64 plus 14 I'm going to add. So 8, 7. Okay, 78. So 78. So this is going to be your last host ID. So slash 24. So what is the broadcast IP address? So the broadcast IP address is very clear. Directly you can add 1 with this and you can write it. So 192.168.1.79. So this is going to be your broadcast IP address. So slash 24. So for the fifth subnet, this is going to be your subnet ID. This is your first host ID. So this is the last host ID. And this is going to be your broadcast IP address. Okay, so this is for subnet 5. Now I'm going for the last subnet, that means 16th subnet. Okay, so how to calculate for the 16th subnet? Okay, I'm going for the 16th subnet, so I'm going to solve it now. So the IP address, okay, that means the network ID given here 192.168.1.0. okay, so we borrowed 4 bits here, okay, in the last octet. So 192, okay, so I'm writing here, this is subnet 16, okay, the 16th subnet we are going to use it. So what is the subnet ID means 1111, okay, this is going to be your subnet ID. Okay, so 192.168.1 dot, so 4 bits borrowed here, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, so 4 bits we borrowed here, so I'm going to write the subnet ID here. Okay, so this is going to be our subnet part now. So this is the subnet ID, the entire thing, it is going to be the network part, and this is going to be our host part. Now, so first thing is we have to find what is the subnet ID we have to find. So subnet ID, what is the formula? You can make everything 0. Okay, you can make everything 0 in the host bit. So in the host bit, if you make everything 0, you will get the subnet ID. So 192.168, okay, 1 dot. So you can take the place value of this. So this is going to be 128, and this is 64, and this is 32 and 16. Okay, so 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16. Okay, we have to add everything. Okay, so once if you add everything, you are going to get the subnet ID. Okay, subnet ID you will get. Now, so we already done this, so no need to add everything. So you can take the remaining part here and you can reduce it. That means 255, okay, minus, so here you have 1 2 4 8. Okay, so 8 plus 2 10, 10 plus 4 14 plus 1 15. So 15, if you reduce from here, you will get the answer. So this is going to be 240. So your subnet ID is 192.168.1.240. So this is going to be your subnet ID. So if you add everything, you will get the same answer. So slash, okay, 4 bits we borrowed. So 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Yes, it is going to be 28. Sorry. So in the first page, yes, so now you can see in this first page, I put everything as 24. It is not 24, it is wrong. It is 28 because we borrowed 4 bits we borrowed here. Okay, you can see 4 bits we borrowed. So this all, it is going to be 28. So 28, 28, 28, 28. Okay, it is not 24. Okay, we borrowed 4 bits. 24 plus 4. Okay, so now it is /28. So this is going to be your subnet ID. Then first host ID. Now I am going for the first host ID. So you have to make everything 0 in the host part except the last bit 1. Okay, so if you put 1 here, so that is going to be your host part. So in that case 192.168.1.241. okay, 1 will be added here. Okay, /28. Now last host ID. So what is the last host ID means? Okay, so 192.168.1.241. okay, so 240. okay, sorry, not 241, 240. So with this we are going to add, okay, the last bit should be 0. okay, remaining everything is going to be 1. So now 240 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2. okay, so I'm just going to make everything 1 here except the last bit. So this is equal to 240, 250, 254. So 192.168.1.254. okay, so 240, 250, 254. okay, /28. Then what is a broadcast IP address? So obviously you have to add 1 with this. So 192.168, so 1.255. So this is going to be your broadcast IP address /28. Okay, so for the last subnet, the subnet ID, okay, subnet ID is this, the first host ID is this, okay, the last host ID is, okay, this one, and broadcast IP address is this. Now, if you observe something, we are in the last subnet. You see the last IP address, what we are ending means, we are ending with 255. Okay, so that means the entire network before subnetting, it is 192.168.1.0. It will start from here. This is the network ID 192.168.1.1. This is the first host. The last host will be 192.168.1.254. Okay, this is going to be the last host. So the broadcast IP address is, okay, this is going to be your broadcast IP address. So this is before subnetting. Okay, this is before subnetting. Now after subnetting, you see, this is going to be for the last subnet, this is going to be the broadcast. That means we can check this, cross checking. Okay, that means what we have done is the correct one. So this is the end of problem number 3 in the lab 2.